In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 things I did to make over $200,000 in my first year as a solo designer, and none of them have to do with design skill. I racked up multiple clients, each paying me $5,000 a month, all because they saw me on Twitter. It's not because I had some expert level design skill that others didn't have. It's not because my design style was even that unique. It's because they saw my work everywhere on Twitter. And a lot of those clients ended up staying around for 10 months, if not longer. You see, most designers think that talent wins clients, but I'm here to tell you that's not true. It's attention that wins clients. Before we get into it though, I want to introduce myself. I'm Noah and I run an agency called Orange Studio where we design and build websites for software companies. Let me set the scene for you. I'm working as a designer on a mobile app for a pretty well-known theme park in Orlando. Everything was going good. I had my first baby on the way, and then all of a sudden I get a dreaded message on Slack. Next thing you know, I'm being asked to hop on a Zoom call where I learned they're laying off half of the design team on the project. Obviously, I go into panic mode a little bit. I have no job. I was not planning on having to look for a new job. I have a baby on the way. Everything is just kind of going out of control. But I knew I had to provide for my family. Ultimately, my career goal was to be doing freelance or as like a solo agency, but I had no anticipation of it coming this quickly. I had nothing to lose, so I decided to give it a few months, try out launching an agency and see where it took me. At first, I made my website, I kind of posted aimlessly onto various social medias and really wasn't having that much success. But I wanted to try one more thing. I didn't want to give up, so I decided to go all in on one platform, learn its ins and outs, and see if I could master a single platform. I gave myself a month, and if I didn't see growth from that, I was going to start looking for other design jobs. For me, that happened to be Twitter. That's not to say you have to pick Twitter, but for me, I knew it was something I could commit to, and I went all in. So I focused on building up my personal brand. I posted occasional work, I gave advice, design tips, even tried to make friends through replies and DMs. Eventually, because I was posting enough, I got a message from someone. They said they were looking for a designer and happened to see my stuff everywhere on Twitter. And those people wanted to hire me to design their mobile app. They paid me $5,000 a month. That was my first client. Eventually, this scaled into more and more clients, eventually hitting $20,000 plus months. And all this was just because I continually made myself noticeable on Twitter and clients continued to find me. So now let's dive into the 3 things that helped me achieve that. Step 1, marketing beats skill. Now, I'm not the best designer. I'm very aware of that. I see people who make stuff 10 times better than me every single day, and trust me, I get jealous of a lot of the designers on Twitter these days. There are so many great designers out there. But here's the thing. A lot of the clients who are hiring us don't know what good or bad design is. That's why they're hiring us. Now, I'm not saying we take advantage of that and crank out terrible design, but I am saying that ultimately who a client hires is going to come down to who they see more, who they trust more, and a lot of times that even just comes down to things like follower counts or, post engagements on our own accounts. I mean, you could be the best designer in the world, but if nobody ever sees your work, how would a client know to hire you? Let me give you an example. When I was in school, I had a teacher who talked about all of these awesome projects they got to work on and all these amazing clients. However, when they went and showed their work, it honestly was kind of not great, but they knew how to sell and they knew how to market, and so that got them all of the big clients that they wanted. They built their whole career in business off of not even being that great of a designer, but knowing how to sell, and that's what matters. There's also another local agency that I know of whose output is not that great for how much they charge. But once again, they market, people know about them, and so they're going to get clients. So what am I saying? If nobody knows you exist, your skill level doesn't matter at all. Now, obviously, if clients are comparing you to other designers, it might matter at that point, but you need to be seen first, and I would argue that's the most important thing. All right, so you've been seen. Now let's move on to step 2, your personal brand. So if people have found you, what makes them want to hire you? Now, I think a lot of this comes into your personal brand and how you present yourself online. Does a client want to work with someone who's really edgy and full of themselves, or does the client want to work with someone who seems approachable and fun and easy to work with? This is why I think personal brand matters so much once you're visible on someone's timeline. You need to be able to be someone they can trust and someone who they want to work with. So for me, I tried to be really approachable. Anytime I got any reply on a post on Twitter, I responded to it. I would make sure that people seemed like I cared for them, regardless of if they had 0 followers, 1,000 followers, if they were a designer or a potential client. I always tried to make everybody seem equally valued in my replies. I also made sure to give stuff away for free. I posted design tutorials, I posted career advice, anything that I wish I would see on my timeline is what I wanted to be posting. I also just focused on making a lot of friends on Twitter. I added people to lists who I would regularly communicate with, so I saw all of their posts, replied to them, DM'd them, and honestly, I've made so many great design friends from this, and I wouldn't have changed a thing. Now, it did take a few months of regularly posting, replying to people, and just meeting people for things to take off, but very quickly you started to see the results from it. Now, in reality, it felt like a slog at the time, but after month 1, I already had grown so much, and then rolled that into month 2, month 3, and built my whole career off of that. You see, around month 2 or 3, a switch kind of flipped. I had my first post go viral, if you will. Now, it wasn't some massive tweet that, blew up on every single person's phone, but for my account size, it honestly was the best performing post by far. And it seemed like after that, it just became more regular. Twitter seemed to acknowledge my account, and I was in front of so many more people's eyes all the time. You see, and that's when the clients really started to land. I was getting messages almost every day, calls booked, and it's all just because I had enough posts that enough people were seeing. So once again, people were hiring me because I was showing up in their timelines consistently, and I was a person who they wanted to work with. Those are the first 2 very important steps. So if people can find you and people want to work with you, the next most important thing is keeping them paying you. You see, individual projects are great, they pay a lot, but ultimately you're left looking for new clients every single month to fill in that next project slot. That's why I went all in on retainers, and every single client that I've had was a retainer client. So for me, I always wanted to make retainers as easy as possible for the client and for me. I think a lot of designers fall in the trap of trying to set too many specifics and legal things and stuff that just ends up making it a whole hassle and not super easy. Here's how I did it. I had a fixed $5,000 a month fee, no hour limits, just me doing my best to hit the timelines that you have. Most of the time though, a client would come to me with a request, I would give them a rough estimate of how long it would take, and we go from there. I didn't do any fixed details like expect updates every 2 days. It was just me regularly messaging them on Slack, making sure we're in constant communication and on the same page. Once again, it just goes back to being a person who I would want to work with and making it as easy and enjoyable for the client as possible. And let me say, locking in that recurring revenue is like such a cheat code. Most of my clients averaged around 10 months of recurring revenue, which means at $5,000 a month, that's like $50,000 per client. That's so much more than a single project cost that a client would give you, and you build such strong relationships with clients that they never want to leave. The other benefit of this is it gave me more time to do outreach. Because I know exactly what my client load is going to be like week to week, I can schedule out time to do outreach when I want to, but there's also no stress not to because I know what clients I have already. There was no pressure. One-off projects means that you're hunting for new clients every month, whereas retainers mean that you're stacking clients. You're building revenue on top of revenue rather than just searching for next month's revenue altogether. So that's how you go from $5,000 a month to $20,000 a month. You find one client, keep them happy, and use your time to find another. Just build and keep all of them on. So I hope this was helpful. Getting laid off was the push I needed to jump into running my solo agency. So here's a recap. Marketing always beats skill because clients hire who they trust and see. Building my personal brand got me in front of the right people and showed people that I was someone who would be fun to work with. And lastly, retainers are the cheat code to growing revenue month over month. Thank you so much for watching. It would mean a lot if you hit subscribe down below as we start this journey together on growing our freelance businesses, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.